Yes, we're back, baby.
We've been waiting for this one for a long time.
Have you ever seen a lawyer so pretty?
Oh, thank you, Kiko.
Usually lawyers
I
aren't.
the fifth.
Well, that's right. You're married. I have never. And she's a personal friend of mine. I want to welcome Stephanie Cruz to the show.
Thank you, Kiko.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
our
Thank you,
podcast.
guys.
We've been wanting to get you on here. One, because she's one of my pig roast girls, so she's helping with all my pig roast.
You know, that
events.
sounds a little...
She knows exactly what that means.
Pig roast.
Everybody knows what that means.
Pig roast
In
girl.
Pig
Miami.
roast girl.
She's part of our... on Google, pig roast girl. Let's see what happens.
Not that one. Not that one.
No, she's part of our committee helping us out with our events, and she's amazing. And I want to welcome her here because she's got great advice and information.
She does.
It's going to be juicy, guys.
Especially for our guy audience, we're learning before.
Yeah.
Before we
There's
started
a lot of
recording.
things that can save you a lot of money in this.
Yes. So welcome,
in this
welcome
podcast
to
episode.
Welcome to our show, Stephanie Cruz.
Stephanie,
Thank you.
for those people who don't know you, explain to them a little bit about yourself.
Who you are.
So I'm an attorney, wills, trust, probate, guardianship, family law cases. So I practice all over the state. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. You guys are a great group. I watch you guys. I'm one of your viewers. And I'm excited.
We're excited to have you, and I love the red.
Thanks.
Yeah, the red's nice. Red's nice. Very nice.
Can't
Very
say
nice.
shit like that, but I love
Thank
the red.
you. Thank you.
Listen, we were learning off camera now how much information our guys don't have, huh, Ed?
Yeah, this is
Why does it
incredible.
have to be just guys?
Yeah, both.
Everything you
Men and
said
women.
was kind of like guys are fucked. You know? I'm sorry, but it's true. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, I think one of my first questions, or one of
Yes.
the first things I want you to explain, because I think it's something that people don't ever think about. You know? And it's the whole concept of having a will, right? A lot of us, especially young people, think we're going to live forever. So you don't have a will. You probably think it's too expensive. You don't know how to go about getting a will. You think it's super complicated. If you can shine some light on that and how people... what's the right approach to it? You know, is it better to go on LegalZoom if you want something quick, or is it better to speak to an attorney? If you can give us some insight.
Well, I want to ask you guys something. Why do you think having a will is important? What does a will do for you?
Okay, I think it's important because I've seen multiple cases already in families where something happens to somebody, they pass away, and it's all in shambles. And nobody knows where what goes.
Yeah.
The attorneys end up taking the money. It stays in the courts for 2-3 years. People get pissed at each other. You lose friendships. You lose family. You lose everything. You know.
Okay, so having a will, there's 3 ways, I guess, to pass away. And I try with this topic to not be too morbid, okay? But it's interesting. It's usually questions that people talk kind of on the low, like what's going to happen to Abuela's house or things like that. So let's say we're talking about Abuela, right? She has a house, a bank account, and let's say she had a will. So the will is actually an instruction sheet to be used in probate, okay? So basically it's going to say what Abuela had and where it's going to go. But to use a will in probate costs money. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. When you have a will, you're better than those that have nothing because at least there's something, but it costs money to use. So the goal is to avoid probate. That's where I come in.
Okay.
That's where the attorney comes in.
Okay, but when you mean it costs something to use, what does that mean?
So generally, filing fee is about $400 some odd.
Okay.
So the first thing that happens if somebody passes away and there is a will, not even those that don't even have one, but let's say they have one, you have to, by law, basically deposit it with the court within 10 days. So somebody has to go to downtown and take it. And statutorily, you have 10 days to do that.
And that's, you know, if you know where it is. 'Cause typically you have to go
A
find
lot
it.
of the time it's lost,
Yeah.
or people said, I don't know where it is, but that's a whole nother.
And does it ever happen in a situation where someone like makes up a will? Submit it in there?
I mean, we've had that. There's a lot of litigation, and the whole question is, which was the will of which one was the will, and then that's litigation and drama. I'm talking to you from the most basic. We have a will, we deposit it. How much does it cost? How much does probate cost? Filing fee right off the bat is about $400 some odd. Now the statutory fee, what the lawyers get paid, is about 3% of everything.
Of whatever the value of the will is?
Of the estate.
Of the estate. Wow,
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Gosh,
So let's say in Miami, let's say $1 million house, since everything is so expensive, right? Some money in the bank.
30 grand. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. So when some people say, doing a will is expensive or estate planning is expensive, I tell people, well, let's do the math. A couple thousand or about 30,000+. You know what I mean? And also when you're in that probate process, that's when creditors get paid. Okay, so let's say there's credit cards, debt, there's debt, period. That's when they file their claims. And then all the money that's paid out, what's left over, is what the heirs get.
Wow. What's the biggest inheritance you've seen working with cases like that, where there's like a lot of money involved and you're like, wow?
I've seen a life-changing amount of money for people. People that sometimes they don't even know who the family really was, you know. Un tío, una abuela that they haven't talked to in a long time. It happens, guys. It really happens. We've had to hire PIs. We've had to hire PIs because we have to do a search of who the heirs are. And nobody knows where they went. Nobody knows if they exist. And then I have to, you know, the PI usually calls them, says, hey, you know, there's an attorney that's looking for you because you're an heir. And then they're like, they think it's a joke. They think it's a spam. They're like, this doesn't, I had one woman, she's like, no, this only happens in the movies. No, this is real. And she inherited a house.
Wow, but how does that happen? I mean,
okay, so.
Give me like a situation, like the uncle, what? He didn't talk to his family or?
So think about, there's a lot of people, let's say a widow, let's say a man that's a widow, estranged from his kids, or maybe his kids passed, right? Nobody talks to him, just a normal guy, but doesn't have many friends or anything. And let's say he doesn't have a will, okay? And he has a house, let's keep it simple, he has a house. He passes, and so basically there's always somebody. There's always somebody that's going to inquire, like, what happened to the house, you know? And so somebody will maybe try to say, I want to buy it. That's usually what happens, right? They'll say, when I want to buy this house, I know the owner passed away. So they'll come to the probate attorney, and then they'll try to hire you to see who owns this house so they could try to buy it off of them.
Gotcha.
And then we have to then do an heirs search. So we basically have to hire a PI. The PI will find who's the next one in blood, right? So it'll go down to see, okay, spouse, if there was spouse. No spouse, goes down to the kids. Do the kids have kids? And if they don't, it goes back up to mom and dad. No. Do mom and dad have siblings? And it's like a tree. It keeps finding branches. It
goes down?
So that's called intestacy. So when you don't have a will, that's what happens. It goes down the bloodline. So or up the bloodline. So if you don't have a will and maybe you don't like your family is going to get your stuff. You could say, oh, I disown them. I don't love them. They haven't spoken to me. They stole from me. I mean, unless there's actual like police reports and things that this person has done really wrong. Or there's also slayer statutes, right? So if you kill somebody, you can't get their inheritance. That's a Florida law.
I didn't know that.
It's called the Slayer statute.
So if I kill a random person, I can't get any inheritance?
No.
You're not supposed to, no.
Your family member.
Bueno, the Slayer statute, right off the bat, I cannot tell you word for word what it says, but I know that if you have killed somebody, let's say you are the beneficiary of their assets, the Slayer statute prevents you from receiving.
That makes sense, though. You know, How about, I've seen a lot of cases, this might be a stupid question, but I've seen a lot of cases that, like, somebody's just like, fuck it. I hate my family. I don't know any of them. I'm leaving everything to my dog.
There's pet trusts.
Is that really
you can
really
do
possible?
That. That's a real thing.
Okay, how is that handled? Is it like my dog now have a butler? How does that work?
Does the dog handle the house?
You leave. You put the money in trust for your pet. And then there's a human that is the trustee that is responsible for caretaking for your pet.
Have you ever been through like a similar situation like that where they just
I've had people ask me for pet trust, but funny enough, and I think in this community, which took me a couple of things have taken me back, but I've had people fight over mom's cazuelas. I've had people say
it's a good cazuela. I mean,
I swear they fought. They were so upset and they wanted to spend and duke it out to fight. They were so emotionally invested in these pans. I've had people fight over ashes and then the ashes got lost.
I could see that.
The ashes, I was told, ended up being discarded somewhere, and then people were seeing things at night because they were saying that this person was
oh my
Kiko's
God.
My freaking hell.
But it's just this
Imagine
is
the
a wild.
ghost gets your inheritance.
This is a wild area of law, you guys. It's just there's never a dull moment.
Where can people find all these details for laws? I know obviously you can get to hire a lawyer, but is there like a website?
So it's
or
public record, and that brings me to this.
Okay.
When you pass away without a trust, let's say you have nothing or you have a will, this is public record. So if your neighbor passed away and you're curious who got the house, what they had, go on miamidade.gov and you could find it.
But what is that? Miami.gov where? Like
The public record search.
public records? Yeah, everybody knows about that.
Yeah, but
There's nothing like to like.
but a lot of people, yes, there is.
Oh, is a will public record?
Yes. So let's call John Doe, Juan Doe, since we're in Miami. You're telling me, I'm curious what happened to his stuff. I can go on and we can see it's public record. So if you don't want your stuff to be public record, you have to do something. You have to have a trust, for example, that stays your assets private. And you avoid probate. So for we're going on and on. So then, okay, what is like a good idea? Avoid probate. You don't want to, if there's anything that you guys hear me say, try to avoid probate.
Okay, but how can one go about the best ways of avoiding probate?
You have to first talk to a lawyer, right? First, step one is to understand why you want to avoid probate. Because like me, for example, before I became an attorney, nobody talks about this, right? Nobody talks about passing away. My grandparents were, kind of not doing well. And then the conversation, because I was the new attorney in the family, it's like, so what happens to the house, which was not even too far from here? What happens and the house had a reverse mortgage, right? So that question also. What happens to the car? What happens to the bank account, And so I had to try to figure out the answers to these questions. And that's kind of what moved me into this area.
Oh, I thought you weren't doing it before. You kind of...
No, yeah. I started my career in real estate.
Got you.
Doing real estate law and closings and stuff. But then I moved into this. And this is, besides being very interesting, it's people like it. And it's very informative, and it really impacts people, whether you have little means, a lot of money, whatever.
So what's the best? So you're saying the best way by far is speak to an attorney then?
Speak to an attorney that does this, okay? Don't just talk to your attorney friend that does, maybe criminal law. This is a very specialized area. That you want to talk to somebody that does this on a regular, and then talk about what your goals are. Where do you want your assets to go? What's your family dynamic? Are you remarried? Do you have minor kids? Do you have a business? What happens if you have a business 50-50 with somebody and they pass? Do you now co-own the business with their wife?
What does happen in that situation?
That.
Oh, okay.
They will basically...
well, that makes sense. It stays with that partnership of the family.
Yeah, so you could have some other arrangement with your business partners. I know a lot of your viewers maybe have restaurants, maybe have, businesses. It's like, this is something that you guys have to at least talk about and understand what happens.
So what would you think is the best case? Like, just discuss it.
Definitely, probably for people that have minor kids, for people that have a good amount of assets, I would tell you a trust would make sense.
What if you're divorced and you die, right? And obviously your ex-wife still takes care of your kids. Mm-hmm. Does it go to her, and does she manage it until the kids are old enough, or she doesn't have anything?
So let's say you have minor children and you pass, and let's say you're divorced.
That's my situation.
Okay, but we're not going to kill you, Kiko,
No,
for sake of this story.
But, I get along great with my ex-wife, so
yeah.
I'm not worried about that. But does she have...
So I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you what happened. So basically, let's say you don't have a will, or let's say you do. Whether you have one or the other is just the instruction sheet. But if you basically have your two kids and you're unmarried, it's going to go to your two kids regardless. That's what the law finds fair. But let's say you're a millionaire. Let's say you got $1 million and that's going to your kids. So they're minors. They can't have that money, right? So what will have to happen is I will have to open up a guardianship. So your ex-wife or the kid's mom will have to ask the court to be appointed as the guardian of their property, because she's the bio mom, she's the natural mom, but the court wants to kind of have an eye on this money.
Yeah, so
a probate will have to happen first for the million.
Only probate.
But did you do anything to avoid it?
I don't have one now.
Then we would not be able to avoid probate because you haven't done that legwork. So it would be probate first, paying that 3% statutory fee, waiting to see if you have any creditors, waiting 6 months to a year, Okay. Then what's left will go down to the kids, but the guardianship court will be involved until they turn 18. When they turn 18, they'll get all the money.
When they turn it, got you.
And in the meantime, mom is able to help, so guardians of money, this is not like an open checkbook either. Right? A lot of people, and especially after watching that Netflix show, I Care a Lot, right? People think that, this is just, take trips and spend all this money of this child. But no, the money is put into a restricted account. And anytime you go use the money, you have to ask the court for permission. So let's say your daughter needs braces or whatever, and it's $5,000. The mom would ask the court for that money, and the check would be made specifically to the braces, to the ortho.
The judge decides.
Yeah.
And does that take long, though? Like, coño.
I mean, in my office, those things are pretty quick, but I've seen people take a while.
You guys handle that for them.
Yeah. That's also the lawyer is part of that.
Gotcha. The lawyer's the one that's maintaining that. You get a little percent there and everything, too.
Not a percent. We don't get that many percents. But it would be nice, fees. Though. But yeah, it's work, right? Yeah,
of course, you're working, right?
So like an hour, for example.
When it comes to inheritance, what would be your best advice for a couple or a single parent when it comes to inheritance? If they got, because you ain't got the shit, no matter, but you have something.
You could have a car. You could have money. All right. So let's say you just have nothing. All right, I'm not gonna say the word you said, but let's say you have just $1,000 in the bank, right? And you don't have anything else. Go leave a beneficiary in your bank account.
Okay.
That's free. It takes 30 minutes.
Bank. Ed, you're my beneficiary.
Because if you do that, and that's an amazing tip. I'm just going to tell you that's amazing. Why? Because if you don't do that, then the bank doesn't know who to give the money to. And it says, no, I need an order from probate. So if you leave a beneficiary, they're going to cut the check right then and there upon the passing.
Ah, I didn't know that.
So, and it could be a bunch of money too.
Yeah.
So he has almost an adult daughter, right? She's 17.
She's 19.
19. She's an adult already. You have a will?
I have a will, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
But what did we learn? What did we learn here? You have a will.
Zoom.
Well, if you did it on legal Zoom, yeah. Did you do it right?
I did it like 3 years ago, so it's not like,
because, for example,
the answer is no. I haven't done it right. Okay. I haven't done it right.
Like, for example,
and I've gotten more stuff in the last couple of years.
I don't know how to run a podcast, so I wouldn't try. Right? So I wouldn't. If I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not gonna do this because I'll probably do it wrong. And so that's what I tell people all the time. Like, as we say in Spanish, el papel lo aguanta todo. And I tell that to my clients, especially with ChatGPT now. That thing produces beautiful things. It does. But those documents have to be done right.
I think they have teeth.
The teeth, but also the statutory requirements. Like, if you do something that maybe invalidates it, you have nothing.
Correct.
But what I want you guys to understand, how you said, I have a will. Okay, you have an instruction sheet. But did you avoid probate? No.
No, I don't think so.
No, you didn't.
And I haven't updated it. Like, people need to update their wills all the time, too,
You do, and you just don't get a pen and start marking it up.
That's what you were saying earlier. People might go...
Or they white it out. Now, so they say, no, te portaste mal. I don't like you anymore. I'm going to white you out.
No way. Mm-hmm. Damn. Man.
Yeah. And that's no good. Damn. That's not good.
Let's say I'm in a situation, not me, but I've heard of this before. Like, you made it, you have money, you have you have a successful life. But if you pass away, you don't want your wife to go and marry someone else and spend money with that guy. Can you control that too? Or no? Even like post?
You laugh.
Block the bitch.
Okay, all right.
Like, listen, I know you're going to go live your life, but I don't want this guy coming in and spending money.
All right, so there's 3 ways to die, right?
Okay.
Oh, I like that. Stephanie's 3 ways of dying.
Doing nothing. Having something. So the something would be like a will, right? Yeah. But we learned that a will requires probate, is not the ideal. And a trust, which is what I keep harping to you guys.
So the best thing to do is have a trust.
So with a trust, you can do that.
Okay.
You can say, that is your power beyond the grave, okay? And then you can make it so that when the first spouse dies, the trust basically locks itself as to a certain amount of money. And then the new remarried spouse has certain safeguards.
So you can leave a trust that you will limit the new remarried spouse from tapping into
a certain, like, let's say you say, okay, when all the kids, when the first spouse dies, or when not me, I don't like to kill myself for anybody, but $1 million or $200,000.
Whatever
it is, $1 million, $100,000, life insurance.
Yeah, life insurance, exactly.
Will go to in trust for my 2 kids, and they'll get $25,000 when they hit 18. 30,000. You could do that too,
Gotcha.
right? Because do you want to give all your money to an 18-year-old? No. So you could hit certain benchmarks.
You can put requirements that you have to graduate from school
you
before you get the
do,
money.
and some people will do that. You can also keep it in trust for a long time. I've had a lot, especially moms, ask me this. When I'm going to give my house to my daughter or to my son, what happens if they get a divorce? Does that become a marital asset where they could lose it?
That's a good question.
So I always, and we could be here talking about that for a while. Prenups, I think, are a good idea. You guys can learn about that a little bit more.
I don't want to.
But with the trust,
Yeah.
but with the trust, you can leave it in trust for a long time. So hopefully that person will be in a solid marriage. You know, you can give it to them when they're 60 versus 30.
How about if I have a child, that child marries somebody that maybe I'm not a big fan of, you know, or I've built this with my life and with my child.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to maintain control of that stuff. Is that possible?
While you were alive, or
while I'm alive?
Yes, absolutely. We do a revocable trust most of the time. You put, so as I describe a trust is like a box. You put things in the box. You put the interest in your business. You put the house. Either we do a ladybird deed into it, or we put the actual house as the owner of the revocable. You get to preserve your homestead.
This is free advice for you guys.
Yeah, and
this is crazy.
this is spouses, right? To be clear, you have to be married, because we had
do
talked
what?
off camera.
To do what?
If you're not married to this person, is a friend for right.
Yes.
We're gonna get to that topic now.
Okay. Okay.
We're bouncing around to. So then it's a
what I
box.
was
So then
saying,
what? The
it's a box. So we put things in the box, right? And while you're alive, you go and you grab and you put and you take out. That's your box, right? And then you have an alternative trustee, which is, as I like to say, the alternative boss. You are the boss, right? And then now if you're not here or you're incapacitated, you have somebody else that's the boss. But they can only do what you say they can do.
Gotcha.
Right? They can't just go and
start selling assets and stuff.
No, unless you give them the discretion to do that. And also you have to put somebody that you trust. And if you don't have somebody that you trust, then you can hire a corporate trustee.
Gotcha.
So basically companies that'll do that for you.
Okay. Go ahead. Go.
And again, like you said, they have to be married to these. You have to, because like you said off camera, if you have a 30-year relationship and you're not married, that's a friend, right? No matter what.
So if you have so as I've heard a lot of people say, and I'm sure you guys have heard other people say, "Oh, yo no me caso, I'm not going to get married." It's a paper. It's just a paper, un papel. And I've had a lot of people, and actually people have come to me and they said, "Stephanie, you know, I'm married now. We're finally married, you know, because what you said, and it actually hit home."
You made us get married.
So, the reality is in Florida, you're either married or you're single, right? And single people, if you co-own property, maybe, you know, as tenants in common, joint tenant, then at that point you've co-owned property, right? Which we can talk about when one of those people pass and now you own, let's say, this is very interesting. So I want to talk to you about this. So let's say you have 2 unmarried people. This has happened to me before that I've dealt with this. And they buy this house, they function like married people, but they're not. And one of them passes. Let's say the guy passes. So now girlfriend, she's like, you know what? I want to sell this place. I can't afford the mortgage on my own. But now his family is like, wait a minute, we want half of that money at closing. And she's like, but I bought this house. This was my house with my... If they didn't take title as married people, because when you take title as married people, it flows to the surviving spouse as entireties. Or you took a joint tenant or rights of survivorship, where it also flows, then basically you only have a 50% of that house. And then the family of that is to get the other 50. And that is a disaster.
The family's got to be a piece of shit if they do that to their girl, right?
Brother, yeah, but still, man.
You could come, whatever.
Yeah, but
like with her, like you're not gonna do that to her, right?
I mean, I get that, but I get that, but money talks. Like when
now that he's dead, fuck you. I want to have that. Come on, who does that?
I know.
I know there's a lot
wouldn't
of
do that.
Decent.
there's a lot of mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws that don't get
That's
along.
my son, bro. He passed away. I want his stuff.
Damn, but did she know that while he was alive? Like, yo, I gotta lock this down.
You don't think
For that, you need to call Stephanie Cruz for all your
Bro,
real
it's a lot of
estate
things that we're not thinking about here.
issues. Bro, I mean that's
This all full circle. Like real
I guess when it comes to
estate,
money, shady people just come
estates. Yeah, they do.
Can you shine some light? I don't know if this is like within your field, but let's say you have someone who has built somewhat of a life, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm very confused on how it really works, right? And then you get married after, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you both build a nicer life together. That stuff that you built prior, right? Does that go now into the marriage, or is that still yours? Like, let's say I bought 3 or 4 homes and I built a business prior to getting married, but now we opened another 2 businesses together.
Well,
and bought 3 more homes
this is a
together.
good. Okay, so this is a good. And then what? There's a divorce.
And then there's a divorce, yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about premarital assets,
Correct.
right? Now, when do premarital assets become part of the pot for a divorce? Is basically the
Correct.
question that you're asking. me.
Correct.
So my question, what are we talking about? Money? Are we talking
Money,
about a
property,
house?
businesses.
Let's talk about a house.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say the guy or the girl, let's make it so that the girl had an apartment, right? Now they're married, they bought a house, but they're going to get a divorce. Okay. So then guy files the divorce and says, you know what? I want half of that apartment that you had prior to us getting together. So the question will be, and you laugh, Kiko, but this is real.
I had this on
They
the
ask
email.
that this is real life. So the question will be like, did marital money help preserve this property? Did marital money go towards paying for a new AC? Did you pay the taxes with this marital money? Did we do windows? Did he put in for money for the kitchen?
Yep.
Like it starts
Makes sense.
becoming, it starts murking the waters a little bit. The same thing, like let's say she got $100,000 from her parents to buy a house, and now she put it into buying the homestead that they now share. It's the marital home. She basically turned that $100,000 gift into marital. So like you up for grabs at the divorce. So you should, and it's so hard because you want to go into a marriage
Thinking that's never gonna
thinking that it's not going to happen. And I'm all for love and I'm all for, but you do have to just be mindful.
The reality is, yes.
And what I suggest is obviously don't marry somebody that you don't trust, but that you think will do you dirty like that. But
you never know.
if you just want to, as they say, I used to have a professor that used to say, if you want to wear your belt and your suspenders, you should have a prenup.
Yeah. So
Where you basically put it all out on the table.
It's tough.
And you say, and it is tough.
It's easier
yeah,
said than
that's where I was gonna go. So
And it's a contract.
how is it for males? What is the best suggestion you have to bring up the fact that like you're getting married and you're like, hey,
Sign the prenup.
We have a prenup. What advice would you give men to bring that up, or
Love
even
how you
women?
guys
Or
are
even
just-
women, even women, like a woman that has stuff.
All the ladies are going to be mad.
No, even women that have stuff. Anybody in a situation where they're like, listen, I want to prenup, but I'm in love and I don't want to come off as like, you not trust me. What would you say is the best advice for that?
Well, they each need their own lawyer, right? You can't have one lawyer really represent both.
That's true.
So
that's
if
true.
he proposes to her, hey, let's do a prenup.
hey, let's get married and let's meet with our lawyers.
No, but wait, what I'm trying to say is like, do you do that like after you propose or after you get married or before you get married? Like, what's the best way to go about that?
You're asking me from a standpoint as an attorney?
Yeah, as an attorney, like, listen, this is the best way you could bring it
Prior
up.
to the marriage, prior to the day of saying I do, because then one of them can say, well, I felt like you were putting a lot of pressure on me. I only signed this because, it was the day before the wedding.
Got you.
Try to do it a little bit in
So you
advance.
say like incorporate that into like the wedding
Give
plans.
yourself some pad.
Like incorporate that into the wedding plans.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's saying,
Yo, say, hey, listen, we're getting married. I propose.
the
Listen,
party's this
we're
day.
getting
We're
married.
gonna have drinks. Sign this paper. What's that? What is that, babe? Just in case it doesn't work
There
out.
there should not be. This is a contract, right? So if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
make you
Oh, I
sign
understand what you're
something
saying. It's just-
and you say that you were under duress, right, or you were intoxicated,
Pesate más, bro.
you're gonna
No, I get that. But what I'm
You're
trying to
gonna
say
get it
is like,
invalidated.
what's the best way to bring it up? Like, it's hard to say, hey, you gotta sign a prenup.
I guess the best way is like if they both have stuff, right?
Which is never the
or you could at least say it could be the case
It could,
sometimes, or you can say, look, I'm only doing this prenup as to the things that my parents are going to leave me, right? Not to anything that we have.
bullshit. That's to cover it up. To cover it up. Listen, it's not about
Is
you.
the
It's
truth,
not
bro?
Get the fuck
That's
out of
the
here.
best, but that's the best way. Listen, I got stuff that my parents are giving me.
Yeah.
I need to sign this prenup. I need you to sign this prenup.
That was good. I understand what she's
You know
saying.
what? You sound really convincing.
Listen, can I trust, protect, and not need a prenup? If you have a trust,
So, okay, bueno, who's giving the gift? Who's giving? Mom and dad?
yeah.
Who here on this table might be getting married soon?
I'm not.
Which is a question maybe that you.
I'm not.
No.
I'm single. I'm not.
No,
seeing
I know. Me
anybody.
too. What about- Ed's already married. So, did you sign a prenup, Ed?
I did not.
Oh,
So I'm asking this question for myself, bro. But we do have an understanding together. Like, we did sit down and say, like,
Some
yeah.
couples. Look, some
Yeah,
I've
we
had.
have understanding.
That's good.
And I said, hey, you're fair. I'm
We've
fair.
had
Cool.
people divorced within a week. You know, if you guys, yes, if you guys, not you, but let's say somebody else, they decide, look, this no longer is going to work for us. We just put together a parenting plan if they have children with a marriage settlement agreement, a contract, give it to the court. If the judge sees that both parties are happy with how everything is, they agree.
They agree to it.
And that's it.
Talking about children, child support,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I mean, I had a daughter at 17, so you know, I think
Yeah.
I had a great relationship.
But
with
you
my
always
ex.
paid. Is that really?
Yeah.
Like if you're a father that pays, do you even call it child support? Or you just call supporting my child? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Child support, supporting my
No,
child.
because for me, child support
It's
is for
fair.
muertos, right?
That's what I'm
Dads.
saying. No, not really. Child support, child support. But I'm saying I never went through courts.
Because we just paid.
Correct. I just paid. I always had a
this-
verbal agreement with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about these situations where I see people, like, a mí me cuesta entender eso,
Yeah,
where
me
they
too.
go, they get put on child support and they don't pay? Like, what happens to you? Like, I'm curious to know.
They get
Like, what are the steps
the
that happen
state
to you?
goes after them.
The state goes
The
after
Department of Revenue will open up a case against them. They could lose their passport. They could lose their driver's license.
No way.
But do they have fear?
They have
Whatever
fear.
folks you got that they married to take the money? Because I'm a co-parenting all-star with my ex-wife, and I give her a ton of money. I'm not gonna lie, but it's all for the kids. Like
Yeah.
I never see her at fucking,
Correct.
Ross using that money.
No, Ross, you like, that's
No,
It's
but
like
what I'm
Gucci
saying
and
is
shit.
like that money's
Why
just
not?
for the kids. So I don't think it's child support. I'm just like I refuse.
You're
to
just
marry-
providing. You're
I refuse
providing
to
for
have
your
to pay
children.
for my kids. Like for me, the egomaniac and the machismo.
No,
that
but
makes
it's
me-
fair. Those are your.
But I
kids.
just pay. So I mean, child support is like a negative thing, right? Because they're asking you like, "Yo, step up as a man or a woman."
No, not necessarily. It could be because, listen, like, I don't get along with you. You have a good relationship, but I don't get along with you. So, bro, we're going to go through this to the courts. I don't even want to talk to you. Send me my check. I've seen friends like that, man.
Yeah.
And I've seen the other side.
Do you know that there was? This is so bad. I saw this online. I don't know if it's true or not. That there was a man that was paying alimony to his ex-spouse with checks you know how back when you could print
coins,
checks.
yeah.
No, con la foto, the picture of him and his new
Oh,
wife.
yes, I saw that online, yeah.
That's terrible.
Printed out checks, yeah. I think this happened.
Alimony for another thing that pisses
so
me off.
bad. Petty.
But going back to the child support thing, right? How many people come to you and say, like, hey, this guy's not paying child support? Do you see a lot of that? Like, a lot of men that don't step up and support their children?
Yeah.
Damn.
And you know where I see it a lot? Because I work a lot with kids that have special needs like autism and things like that. A lot of the dads, they don't want to be a part of it. So when we do guardianship cases, we ask the mom, did they contribute? And sometimes they say no. And, my sister and I, we
go after
get justice. Let's put it that way.
Oh, wow. I've also seen situations where women will put, like, that they make less, some way, somehow, so they can increase more.
So the way that works is in the divorce or in a child support calculation, there's a financial affidavit where you're swearing that, each of you make X and Y. And then you basically put in, there's a formula, and then you also take into account how many overnights the child is going to have. and the need of the child, things like that. But then there's a formula, and then you can agree to deviate or stick to the formula.
That formula pisses you off if you hate her.
I can imagine. Yeah, listen, I have some friends of mine that have gone through hell. Like, I've gone through hell with that stuff.
But you got any deadbeat friends that are guys that don't pay nothing?
Deadbeat friends, no.
And why are they going through hell? They don't want to pay?
No, because
they can't stand
it's... I mean, I don't want to go into details because I don't want people to know who it is. But it's just like, it was a lot of animosity. Like, a lot of animosity. And when you bundle animosity with money, they're going to tear you apart.
Because a lot of the times the attitude of the client is, they want to be vengeful.
Correct.
They really don't want to solve the issue at hand. They want to get back at the other spouse.
Yeah.
But
like, I've always kept, I think as a single parent, and in those situations, I think you need to be political about stuff. You can't think about, you want to destroy someone, or even then, even if you're on the side that you can get taken advantage of, you want to, be nice and be courteous and make sure it's all about the kid, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think when you go against the grain,
or you refuse to pay, like let's say you have an order and you just refuse to pay because you don't want to pay.
You as a lawyer, you have a lot of experience dealing with cases, and sometimes some of them maybe hit home a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Do you ever kind of like get a little attached to a case? You're like, bro, I'm gonna go after that fucking guy, or I'm gonna like really help her out because he's a piece of shit. You keep yourself away because you're professional, but there's some that maybe you and your sister be like, bro, let's get her.
My sister is
Is she the pit bull?
She is. She's a feisty one. She likes to litigate.
Right.
You see, I try not to litigate if I don't have to, but she enjoys that. And when you get her, you push that button, she goes out and she's
not
got
a
it.
teen, right? She's just your sister.
No, she's 6 years younger than me.
You guys look alike?
Oh,
I think so.
Is it more men going after women or women going after men that you see?
It's got to be women, bro.
You would be surprised. If you marry a man that you make more.
Yeah, correct.
I've had cases where the man wants alimony.
That's crazy.
No, it's true.
That's crazy.
And
he's legally do it, right?
He can, yeah.
Are these men without pride, these beta men? like, honestly, bro, like your ego's gonna let you. Somebody you're gonna let a woman.
Bro, but not everyone's like us. Like,
you're gonna let a woman send you checks.
I mean,
hey, thanks for the check, babe.
If you're broke and you're smoking weed all day, chilling on the couch or something, your girl's making more money than you.
A loser either.
But that's what the situations are. Like,
And how is alimony even legal? Like, if you break off and stuff like that, like, okay, you made a lot of money, all right. You had a lifestyle. That lifestyle is no longer. Why do I got to keep paying for your shit? Like, how crazy?
So in the middle of the divorce, there's a status quo order that basically you have to keep things the way that you had it. You can't just go and say, you know what, I'm going to go and just stop working, right? Or if you were sending your spouse $1,000 a month, you can't say, no, forget it. I'm not going to give you anything, or I'm not going to.
We're divorced. It's over.
Because it's a status. You're not divorced yet. There's a status quo that you have to keep.
So alimony is only till you finish the final
alimony is that order that comes in, the final order, after you've entered into agreement of how much everybody's going to get. And then you have it for a certain time.
Oh, so it's not like forever.
They got rid of permanent alimony.
Oh, you see? Good. That's what I'm saying.
No, like I see people, $25,000 a month, I'm like, oh.
No, imagina that she cheats on you and then alimony, you got to keep paying the bitch. You're crazy, bro. Get the fuck out of here, though.
I'm with you. Honestly, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
And it could be the other way around too. Like he could be a dog.
Oh, and Florida's a no fault.
That's fine,
Florida's a no fault state, so it doesn't matter.
But listen,
whose fault it was.
Explain what that is, because people don't understand what no fault means.
A lot of people have no information on
that. There's people that they say one of my spouse cheated on me, and that's why we got the divorce. That really doesn't go into, much unless you can show the dissipation of assets. So if somebody was using marital money to fund the affair, you can get that money back.
Oh, wow. So taking a nice dinner, buying her car, stuff like that.
Travel.
It's all going to fall under marital account.
Listen, what do you suggest to those people out there? And I know there's a lot of them. I have some friends that are the same way. They've been together. Like, what's the best approach they can take? And I don't want to sound redundant, but they've been together for 8-10 years. They've had kids out of wedlock. They're not like legally married, but they're in love and they're building a business and they're building a lifestyle and they're buying property, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, how complicated can that be if something does happen to fall apart? And what would your suggestion be to them?
I would tell them, if you guys love each other and you should get married, I'm all for getting the protections of a married person. You cannot compare that to somebody that's not married. Even in an emergency situation, you're not married, but you know, this is your partner in life. You're not going to be able to be present in any sort of, talkings with doctors, and unless they allow you, but they're taking at that point a risk,
Legally, you're not,
because you're nobody really legally that has a right to be present.
say what you said off camera. You're
You're a friend.
You're a friend.
You're a friend.
And that's what. If someone, God forbid, passes away, then the family gets involved.
And you know, when you have, and that's something we didn't talk about, I don't think so. When you have, this is your life partner, but you're not married. You're not going to get anything from their estate. You're not an heir to their money. You're not an heir to their home unless you are on title with them, unless you are on the bank account with them.
So it's not just the paper.
It is absolutely not a paper. Money is paper.
Yeah.
You know, and look at how much people are fighting and doing so much to get money. The Constitution is paper.
If you're not legally married, you're a friend.
Yeah, Kiko.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it. Ed, you got some questions down here that are pretty good. How do you make the most complex, like, it says jargon here, obviously, but like understandable to clients? Like, you break down like how we're doing it now, like
this is how I talk.
Yeah.
This is how I talk when I am in front of the court, when I am in an environment, or when I'm trying to speak to opposing counsel and maybe we're not on friendly terms, then that's when you turn on the legalese, right?
Right.
But when you are talking to the public, when you are talking to anybody, you know, at the end of the day, if you don't understand what I'm saying to you, then you're not going to trust me.
Of course.
Right? So the whole goal is I'm here. You have a problem. I'm here to help you. And it's going to make my life easier if you understand how I can kind of walk you through a solution.
You got to make it easy.
Is there like a dog, like other attorney that you go into court and you're like, oh, I got to go up against this person today? Like,
there's people that have a good and a bad reputation.
Oh, yeah? I would have looked up an attorney, man. Go to court and start fighting with people.
I get to hurt her sister Candela for sure.
A lot of court stuff now, a lot of hearings are done virtually too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I was in one.
So pre-COVID, you would go and you would interact a lot more, and it was actually fun because you would go and grab, a little cafecito afterwards and stuff, have a little bit more rapport. Now a lot of it is virtual stuff. Yeah. So most of the time when we meet is usually like at events and stuff.
Did you ever see that funny situation of the court opening up and the guy had a filter of a cat and couldn't change it?
Yeah, pobre, yeah.
Have you ever been in an awkward situation on a Zoom like that?
Well, I mean, not me. At some point, you were going into a hearing and there were people basically getting into the hearings and putting things that were not exactly kosher.
Yeah, pornography. I saw that.
They were hacking. Hackers were coming in. And then during COVID, there was an issue with people showing up to court not wearing the right things. So there was, it was a little bit ridiculous.
I also heard of those situations of people just taking like these calls, like walking,
or people you see it on TV.
Yeah,
you see it or on the internet. People are in trouble for driving without a license, and then they're at the hearing driving.
Oh, I saw that.
Talking
about shady people. Do you always have
love it?
Do you have a client sometimes where you can kind of tell they're not really telling you the truth? How do you deliberate that? Like, what's true, what's
with
not?
The estates? And that's a big thing. People lie.
Right. The second part is, and you said PIs, private investigators, to help you clarify if they're lying or not, or they're filing a claim that's not truthful.
Well, you have to. So if somebody passes away and let's say they left a property, and somebody's, let's say, interested on buying it, or somebody approaches you and says, my uncle or somebody passed away and I'm supposed to get the house, they basically, they can do a sworn statement, an affidavit of heirs, and that's provided to the court. And you're basically saying, this is the family tree. If you don't have that, then you hire a PI and the PI will do a search of the family.
And see who's lying or not. That's important, right?
I had one case where she was the life partner of this man. He passed away, and she basically she had the death certificate say that she was spouse. right? And she wasn't. So she was basically, so the family found this out very quickly, and we had to amend the death certificate because she could, with this certificate, she can go around and she could start claiming certain things.
Taking advantage of the dead.
Oh, and something interesting. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you think that you can do a will disinheriting your spouse? Let's say you're estranged. You haven't talked to your wife in 20 years, and you do a will. You have a girlfriend now. What do you guys think?
I think I'd probably say no because of the way you're asking me, but I would love to. I think that should be illegal. No, like.
What do you think,
What, to
Kiko?
talk to you like somebody you haven't talked to in years?
You're
what?
still married, right? But you know, there's people like that they are
divorced?
not, they didn't divorce, but they're legally married and they have this whole other life. And he wants to do a will. Can you disinherit your spouse?
Oh, take her off, of course. Why would I want her on there?
You can't.
You can't disinherit her from certain things.
You can divorce her.
Yeah, but we're not talking about those that get a divorce. There's a population of people
They just
that
say they wanna go to the
don't get
mission.
a divorce.
Have a box under the bed with cash, and she never knew about it. That's it.
No, but for example, the homestead, La Casa, right?
that's a mission, yeah.
He cannot disinherit her from the house. So let's say this man bought a house.
Yeah, you gotta just right there. You're making mistakes from the beginning. You gotta divorce that fucking lady. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're an asshole, then, right? I mean, you're going around married and you just dump from the beginning. You deserve que te lo quiten todo, I think, right?
But you cannot, so you cannot disinherit the spouse from the home, your homestead, and they're entitled to 30% of everything that you have.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's why people, and you know what the funny part is? That's why people don't get married because they don't want to get into that, not knowing.
Yeah, but
that
knowing
they bring
now,
other
like she said, 30 years of a friendship, bro. I'd be pissed if you don't get nothing after 30 years. You don't get nothing. That's crazy, man. There's so much to know about that people don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, this is like mind-boggling. I would love to be in,
You have a
in your
consultant
industry.
fee just to read this info.
I have a consultation. It's $100
right?
bucks.
Oh, that's not bad. That's
But, we talk.
We're giving it to free here today, so Zell me.
yeah.
Oh my God. But, yeah, guys, this is what I do at the consults. We talk.
Yeah. How many like appointments are you doing? Like, have you seen an uptick in your business? Like more people like booking appointments?
We have a good amount,
50,
thankfully.
70%, right? Get
It's not so much. So I do wills, trust, probate, guardianship, family law. I have an array of different things, right? And like, let's say family law cases, a lot of them are seasonal. There's usually an uptick in family law and filing for divorce, like around Christmas.
Why is that? I thought
I guess
wait after for Christmas.
Bro, right at the fucking Vinga, bro. Right at the moment where you're supposed to be the jolliest. I'm out. I'm out. Merry Christmas, bitch.
Well, wait.
Damn.
What is your theory
I
behind
guess
that? What's your
it's for the new
theory?
year. They're like, no, I'm
Let
getting
me
out.
ask you a question personal because I'm a single guy, right? She's gorgeous, right? Just to be
you,
clear, I'm
Kiko.
saying that. I
Thanks,
tell it
Kiko.
off camera, on
I
camera.
didn't pay him to say that.
With all this information, why would you ever want to like get married? Or like, and if
Because
somebody
I
does
believe
marry
in
you,
it.
like how scary it is.
No, you must be an assassin.
Like, yo, this is a prenup. This is my fee in case shit don't turn out. If you want to know anything,
And you're not allowed to use these attorneys.
like, how scary are you to like
No, I'm not
with all this
scary.
stuff and all? No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying
I
like
mean,
to jump.
you,
to make the
I mean,
Mr. Right better be right as fuck. You better come.
Mr. Right is to her
With
right.
her and her sister, forget it. Don't be slipping. You're gonna have PIs on you. You're gonna have documentation.
you know what? I believe in love. I believe in it. I mean, I
You do
see.
it. Is it hard to believe in love after all what you see and deal with?
Oh my! I think dating in Miami is probably just as traumatizing as.
Bad.
So,
bad.
but I believe in it. I think that people that love each other should get married. I think you should give it a shot. Yeah, there's nuances. But that's life.
But touching on the subject that we talked about earlier, we have discussed here having a singles event.
Yes.
Okay? And we've talked to many of our lady guests, right?
Keep talking about it. But
I
you
know.
don't
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're thinking November.
If she's
okay?
going, I'm definitely there.
But listen, you touched on something, over the top. How is it dating in Miami? Because I've had some like really like interesting answers when it comes to that. Some people have had good luck. Some
I think. Note the question again. How is it dating in Miami being a lawyer?
no. So how do you see like the dating scene there? And I've seen a big want and need for having like these singles or divorcee events. It's really that's how I started out. It started off with divorce events.
You know what I think? I think that people just don't know anymore where to look for like somebody, right? Everybody either thinks, okay, the apps or at a bar or something, but then you go to a bar and it's kind of hard to talk to people. You don't know who to. It's just hard. I think that if you guys, and I know you guys have been talking about this, if you guys do something, play Cupid and try to set people up, I think that it'll be a beautiful thing.
No, it's super nice. We got to find a way to monetize it. That's how it is, bro.
And maybe, maybe for those that register, you kind of like ask them, so like, what are you looking for? Give me a little bio about you. And
listen,
like,
there's two questions. Credit score and yearly income. That's it, bro.
Third, are you a bitch? Yeah. Sorry, that's just my personal
We could ask a couple like trick questions, if you were getting divorced and she made more than you, would you request alimony?
No, but like make it different, right? Try to understand, like, and then maybe separate people by like little wristband. I don't know. Figure something
Listen,
out.
I'm not even messing around. I think we already have an idea of how we're gonna do it. We're thinking of doing it either at John Martin's on the second floor. Okay, because we were considering Regatta Grove and all that, but it's hot, man. You don't want to. So we want to have something a little bit more intimate. Okay, we were gonna keep it to like professionals, right? That are our age or divorced. Okay?
Or business owners, something.
Or business, of course, professionals, business owners, etc. But like people who are a little bit more like serious about like life.
Yeah.
It wasn't gonna just be open to the public and anyone from a day in Miami goes.
God.
Which we'll do that call out just to see.
Include shots.
And the idea is not so much like a forced, but it's like this. We go, we hang out, we're going to do a live podcast and have like little 10, 15-minute rounds of people coming in and talk about dating in Miami.
Dating.
Yeah, like a speed dating thing. I think it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. And we have a lot of friends.
We could be the Grand Marshals, me and you.
We have a lot of,
the king and queen of the mixer.
There we go. Put it there.
Manny has a lot of divorced women who make a lot of money, and they are professionals. And
really,
and they are. That's how it started. She asked him, "Can you guys do a divorcee event? Can you guys do something where you bring older people together, like
single people and divorce?
Single divorce.
Yeah, I could be a stay-at-home dad. I cook like a motherfucker. Right? I don't mind staying at home and honey, food's ready. Talking about food, Ed, I just want to ask the question already.
Yeah, I can go for it, bro.
What do you think? This question is brought to you by Toast, the best POS system for restaurants. Toast, the one I use. All right, so we need to ask you finally, what are your top 3 favorite restaurants that Stephanie Cruz likes to go to, starting with number 3?
What's the night all about? Like, is this like
your list, wherever you like to go?
I would say, look, go with like your comfort food spot. Like, you don't
Cuban
care.
food?
Cuban food? Okay.
Whatever, but it's got to be your favorites.
What's a Cuban food, comfort food spot you're going to?
Number 3 first.
Cuban food, comfort food, where I'm going to enjoy a good croqueta, a good cafecito.
I didn't know what you're going to say.
Versailles.
Oh, you surprised me.
Versailles.
Damn.
I enjoy going there. I like people watching. Tour buses drop people off there. It's a good spot, right?
Many people have selected a lot. I thought you were going to go with like a Palacio de los Jugos, Islas Canarias.
I'm not a fan of Versailles, but that's fine.
I like a Versailles.
Okay, that's fine. That's yours. Number
I like
2.
Versailles,
Number 2.
Give me a spot that,
Okay,
let her answer.
Intimate for me, that's pretty. I enjoy the burger. The drinks are good. Ball Harbor, Hellstone. Their burger is like a work of art.
Hillstone, very
Their
solid.
cocktails are beautiful. The space is really nice.
But there's no difference.
Why about Harbor?
In the Coral Gables one, no?
I find the difference for me.
For real? What is the difference?
I no sé. I like the vibe. I like I don't know.
You
Es
work
más
around Bal Harbor?
tranquilo. No,
Bal
I
Harbor's
take
en
the
casa
drive.
de la-
I know,
wow.
but I take
You
the
take
drive.
the drive.
And I can go shopping at the same
Hillstone,
time.
please give this girl a free burger. She drives all the way out there.
Listen, the thing is that the one here in Coral Gables is like the
It's
who's.
super
I know,
packed.
but-
I know, but I don't go there. Like, if I go there to eat, I don't, I'm
I
there
see
to
Alonzo
eat.
Morning there all the time. I saw him actually in Coconut Grove this weekend.
Interesting. Okay, Miss Cruz, then your number 1 pick where you like to dine the most?
I'll tell you where I go, and I like the whole, and it's like old Miami, Smith and Walensky.
Smith
Wow. That's a
and
good one.
Walensky,
I like going
legend.
there. I like they got good bread. They have delicious cocktails, and then it's really nice because after you're done, you can walk.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
equal
walk
to-
around.
I felt it fell off a little bit. That's what I've been hearing on the streets. Hopefully, it's not the case, but it's a legendary spot.
Yeah,
It's historic, and it's just nice.
So you sit outside.
Yeah, it's very
Not in the
beautiful.
summer, though.
When it's hot, no.
No.
But I like
But
to
it's a nice
eat.
breeze.
It's not just for me, the food. I like the whole experience.
Ambiance.
The ambiance.
It's been there forever too. It's tested time.
And if someone were potentially want to take you out on a date,
Oh my goodness.
Where would you like them to take you?
Let me know where you would like to go.
Where would you like them to take you?
You know what's like
Date night, like
you know where it's a good spot? You're gonna probably be caught off guard, Flanagan.
No way, you're straight up Miami girl.
I like
You're straight up Miami girl.
que rico, like
So wait. Listen, I personally love Flanagan's,
Bro.
I think it's low key, but it's good. It's fun.
Okay, but you're telling me
And no
that
pressure.
That's fine. You're telling me you're dating someone, or for the first time you're going on a date, and they tell you we're gonna go to Flanagan's. I have a reservation. We're gonna do 10 wings with a bucket of beer. You'll be happy.
Okay. You have to understand. Like, there's different. You're asking me as a 35-year-old.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
35 years old.
Her prime.
When I was 25, right? You at that age, you're like, oh, I want something really fancy. What I'm looking for is like substance, right? I'm looking for a good guy. The Flanagan's is easy.
Let me ask you again.
And then thereafter, we can pick it up a notch, right?
Okay. Let's re-ask the question. Stephanie, what would you like me to take on a
Skinny Louis?
And don't say Flanagan's. Give me something else.
Mika.
Something that you want to go to, you've heard about, you're interested.
Tell him to take you to Mika.
Bueno, Mika.
Yeah, let's go across the street.
Mika, done. You got friends with Mika.
What's Mika?
Mika's an amazing restaurant.
Amazing.
Yeah.
At the Plaza.
Yeah, it's across the street.
Yeah.
Nice.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's Chef Michael White, is it? Or
Michael White.
Michael White, yeah.
Good
Great.
friend of mine.
Yeah, great.
You know
spot.
the owner, I know the chef. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think this is the first of many because we need to do more of these.
You guys
We're
liked
doing a
it?
series.
I
Yeah,
did.
love
I liked it. I liked looking at you. I like to hear you, your advice.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed all the way
multifaceted.
around.
This is probably his
That's
favorite
why
podcast.
I knew this was.
Did
gonna
you
be a
guys
good
learn
one.
something?
No,
No,
100%.
I learned a
Please,
lot. I learned a
please.
lot.
Trust me, all the shit that I didn't know. Now I know, and I have the more chance of getting remarried because I've been married. Ed's married already, and then you've never been married, so you have a lot to look forward to, right? It's true, bro. You know, you got to get the paper.
I guess,
A lot of people always said, "Don't get the paper; it's just the paper." Now I know that the paper is more important. I didn't know that paper was that important. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it, and I like your choices of restaurant. We got to work on maybe the last one, but either way, thank you for being here, and
Oh my God, you
I
guys
want to
were
see
great.
you again on the show.
You guys were an amazing
So
time.
much information. Stephanie Cruz, beautiful and smart, guys. Thank you.
Bye.